Hello, everyone. I want to first start off by thanking you very much. I'm Jeremy Barron, the director of the Halloran Lab for Entrepreneurship. I want to thank all of you in person and over Zoom for attending this exciting event today. I'm happy to say as well that Todd Halloran is joining us on Zoom. Todd's generous financial support and strategic guidance to everything we do at the lab is critically important. So thank you, Todd. This is our second year of what I believe to be a truly unique and powerful educational collaboration between SureStart, the DavisAI Institute, and the Halloran Lab for Entrepreneurship. We'll highlight this collaboration over the course of the next few minutes, but first I'd like to go through the agenda with you today. So we're going to start off. Founder and CEO of SureStart, Tania Mishra, is going to give a quick overview of the SureStart program. Then Vijay, our visiting instructor from the University of Maine, will walk through the technical components of the curriculum. Then I will walk through the entrepreneurial components. And then the main event, students will get up and do their pitches. And they'll be following each pitch, we'll do a few minutes of Q&A. We've got some swag here. So anybody who asks a question, students included, will get either a hat, very nice hat, or scarf, which may be not the best things for now, but as we all know, in Maine, at the start of the semester, the temperature will plummet, and we will all be very happy about having those. And then finally, we're going to have a lunch catered afterwards in the room, I think 146. Follow the herd out. And it's going to be catered by Kiki's Gems, which is founded by Kiki Brown, a recent graduate and a recipient of a Halloran Ideate and Explore grant. So we're really excited. And it's Waterville's first Dominican soul food restaurant. So that's the plan. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tania to walk you through the SureStart program.
Hi, everyone. I am so delighted and honored to be with all of you today. And as Jeremy said, at the second SureStart AI Trailblazers Makeathon at Colby College. And it has been a fantastic two-year journey, and I hope to continue for many, many more years. First, I want to start out by thanking the students for investing in yourselves and spending as much time as you have, which I know has been many hours, roughly about 120 hours of engagement this summer to learn many new technical skills as well as entrepreneurial skills. And I want to especially thank the Davis Institute of AI and the Halloran Lab for Entrepreneurship for partnering with SureStart to bring this innovative AI program to all our students and thus overcoming the barriers of cost and geography for all the participants. So underlying our program are three components. Jeremy, if you would take us to the next slide. Yes, there are three primary components: to discover talented young people like each of our students here today, to provide them with a community and a skill set that brings them both career readiness, but more than that, it helps them to become ready to be leaders of the AI generation. And finally, to amplify their skills and big ideas as we are doing today through this pitch. So I'm delighted, students, to be here with all of you and to celebrate your hard work, your big ideas, and learn and grow with each of you. Good luck today.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to ask Vijay to come on up and give a brief overview of the technical curriculum.
Thank you, Jeremy. Good morning, everyone. I'm Vijay. I'm a doctoral student at University of Maine. I am a visiting instructor at Colby, and I had the privilege of teaching these young, amazing students over the summer about some amazing concepts about AI, which was really fun for me. So we started with we did not expect the students to have any knowledge about artificial intelligence or any kind of machine learning. We did expect they had some knowledge about programming, not necessarily in Python. So we started with giving a brief introduction of what is artificial intelligence, what is machine learning, what is deep learning, what are the differences between them. Then we started into looking deeper into what are the specific fields in machine learning, such as computer vision, natural language processing, and so many others. We then started getting into the code, where students reviewed a lot of the core libraries that are actively used in machine learning, like Matplotlib, SciPy, and then going on into more core machine learning libraries like TensorFlow and even PyTorch. We then started diving into the concepts of classical machine learning, such as decision trees, support vector machines, regression models, and so on. They also learned to work with real data sets on Kaggle and some other data repositories. We then delved into the deep learning, which is the core and the hot topics of AI is deep learning. So we looked at a variety of neural networks, starting with artificial, which is one of the basic types of network, then going on to looking at convolutional neural networks, generative adversarial networks, and even a little bit of recurrent neural networks. So diving deep into the technicality behind it and looking at how the code is run. We also looked at what are some other components of training machine learning models, not just the type, but how they are trained, what are some hyperparameters, how to train them effectively, what are losses, activations. So looking inside the hood of the architecture and implementing them. And finally, we did talk about AI ethics and bias, which is an important topic, especially when we're training young generations of AI researchers and entrepreneurs. So yeah, thank you.
Great. Okay, so I'm going to dive in and give a quick overview of the entrepreneurial curriculum. So I think it's fair to say when the students started, they had virtually no background in anything business related. Is that fair, students? Maybe you'd heard of revenue, but probably not much more than that. You might not even actually have known exactly what revenue meant. So we're starting from very, very low, very steep learning curve, but I'm really proud of the progress they made in just a handful of weeks. So we started off by talking about principles of design thinking and the framework. Then individual students got out of the classroom. They got out into the world, and they practiced individual customer discovery, ethnographic research. So they talked to people to try to identify problems that existed in the world that were of interest to them. Then based off of that discovery, they created individual positioning statements. So positioning statement, the general kind of formula we went with is for target customers in segment X who have problems Y or problem Y, our company, our idea provides solution Z. Unlike our competition A, our solution offers these key points of differentiation, 1, 2, 3. So from that point, they then did additional customer discovery and designed individual 1 to 2 minute elevator pitches. They then delivered those elevator pitches to their fellow classmates and to the business mentors and voted on the ideas that they wanted to move forward. So from those 9 individual ideas, it was reduced down to 3 teams, and those are the 3 teams and ideas that are here presenting today. They then went through and completed the business model canvas. For those of you who don't know, that's basically a 1-page business plan. And the purpose of it is that unlike a long 20, 25-page business plan, the business model canvas is meant to be highly iterative so that you don't get entrenched in all of that work you've done. Instead, you continue going out, continue to ask questions, continue to learn. And from all of those learnings, you were constantly evolving and iterating on your idea. So they built that. That gets into the sections like who your customer base is, what are their problems, what are the solutions, what are your unique value propositions, how are you going to get out to them, what are the sales channels, once you're out to them, what are your sources of revenue, what are the costs that need to support that, and then finally, what is the unique and sustainable competitive advantage. So they built business model canvases for each of their ideas. They then took their market. They thought, oh, these could apply to many different customer bases, but they took their market and they did a market segmentation analysis to identify their beachhead market, the core market they're going to start by going after. They then created user personas for that beachhead market to try to really get into the demographics and psychographics of the individual user. And then from there, they created a storyboard, which highlighted the MVP, minimally viable product that they hope to develop and produce. And then they had to go off and develop that. And to me, that is the most exciting part about this program, is that it goes beyond just coming up with and doing a lot of research and doing a lot of work to develop an amazing pitch. They actually had the technical skills that they learned through this program to start to develop the solution that they have in their mind. To me, that's just absolutely phenomenal. And then they created and had to deliver a full investment pitch, including a demo of their MVP, which they're here today to do. So before we get into that, I just want to highlight that mentorship is absolutely critical component of everything we're doing at the Halloran Lab. Our mentors are core to our students' experiential learning. So we have 93 mentors and growing in our system who provide diverse life experience, industry and skill-specific expertise, and a vast extended network to empower our students' development. All of you here today possess critically valuable and unique experiences and expertise. If you'd like to become a champ mentor, please scan the QR code to complete our mentorship survey, or feel free just to reach out to me directly. We'd love to have you in our ecosystem helping out our students. And now we're going to go over, so as part of the curriculum, in addition to all of the things I just described, we had the pleasure of having a significant number of guest lecturers either join virtually or in person. And as you'll see from these stars, we were able to leverage our champ mentors pool to engage 6 of those folks to participate directly as SureStart mentors for this program. You'll notice that all of our guest lecturers who are entrepreneurs have leveraged AI in their ventures. We wanted to highlight the vast landscape of potential applications and industries where AI can be used to create value. I'm going to go through them really quickly. So we kicked off again, design thinking. Owen Sanderson was creative leader at AI Collaborative and formerly of IDEO. He took the students through a design thinking workshop and methodology and taught them about that. And they got to start to engage right away in asking questions to try to identify unmet need, try to identify problems, identify jobs to be done. Mark Johnson. Mark is a multiple-time successful startup founder, one of which he successfully sold a startup to Condé Nast. And he is now the founder of Attic Ventures, in which he creates, invests in, and develops digital businesses. Nina is the principal at Maine Venture Fund. The fund has been actively investing in Maine companies since 1997 after its creation by an act of the Maine legislature in 1995. Over $25 million has been invested in Maine companies from the fund, which operates as a revolving evergreen fund. Nina walked our students through the venture investment ecosystem and how startups can access varying forms of capitals to fund their ideas. Next, John. John Gadboot is actually in our audience today. Welcome, John. John is a co-founder and the Chief Operations Officer and Technology Officer of Prospector, Inc., an AI analytics platform that provides investment insights on mining companies. And I'm also pleased to announce, come out more formally, but John is actually going to be an entrepreneur in residence with us, joining the lab in the fall. Theo Satloff and CP are the co-founders of Remark. Remark is making online retail more human for online shoppers and more profitable for e-commerce brands. With their network of over 50,000 human experts and their AI personas, they power significant conversion lift for brands. Tommaso is the co-founder of Rubik, which is an AI-powered investment platform for institutional investors to invest in single-family rentals. We had Rachel present. Rachel is the co-founder of Virtual Sapiens, whose suite of AI solutions empower entire teams to up-level their presence in communication. Through their industry-leading expertise in nonverbal, verbal, and vocal elements of communication, they leverage cutting-edge computer vision to reveal what's hidden and help entire teams rewire behavior for stronger presence on screen and off. Matt Hawkins. Matt is the co-founder of Prism, and excited to say an all Colby startup who's leveraging AI to fix the way governments buy technology. Then we had Lily present. Lily is a director at Scroobius, a virtual platform and community designed to efficiently connect early-stage founders, investors, and partners. They firmly believe that there are scores of great founders and companies that don't make it due to structural barriers and closed networks. Their mission is to increase diversity in the startup ecosystem by providing underserved founders with education and tools to bring humanity front and center in the pitching process. So all of our students here today actually use the Scroobius platform as part of their pitch preparation. Next, we have Ryan Lee. Ryan is the co-founder of Revert Technology, who designs, programs, and manufactures power adapters that combine AI and utility grid analytics to turn applications off and on, saving energy and reducing carbon emissions for people, businesses, and our planet. And I'm not sure it's official, but I'm excited to announce that I believe Colby is going to be doing a pilot with Revert to help save energy. And then finally, Skylar. Skylar was the Chief Behavioral Science Officer and an executive at Cogito, which delivers real-time AI coaching at scale, providing in-call guidance to phone professionals in the Fortune 300. By improving how people communicate, Cogito delivers better outcomes for customers and employees. So I want to just thank again all of our mentors and guest lecturers for providing the real-world context that was super, super valuable to our students and kept things very fresh in the classroom. And now we're on to the main event. We're going to have 3 presentations today. Each team will deliver a pitch, including a demo of a component of their technology in which they've actually developed. And then each presentation will be followed by audience questions. And again, remember, anyone who asks a good question or even any question at all, if you want, we've got Halloran swag, hats, and scarves in the back that you can feel free to grab one. So with that note, we're going to kick it off with Katie, Kingsford, and Mickey of ExamWell.
Just a minute. Presentation.
Hi, everyone. We are the co-founders of ExamWell, an AI-driven problem bank created to help teachers write exams.
And to start things off, I think it'd be best to start off with an introduction to the team. I can start. Hi, I'm Mickey. I was in charge of communications and outreach, as well as front-end development for ExamWell.
I'm Kingsford. I was the head of sales and finance.
I'm Katie. I'm the tech lead and back-end developer at ExamWell.
Our mission is to strive for efficient education. As current students ourselves, we strongly believe in the power of education. Learning is life-changing, and providing the best possible education to the next generation ensures the success of further generations down the line. That is why teachers are our heroes, our hopes for the future. However, they're oftentimes stressed and grossly overworked, which is why we would like to provide them the tools they need to reduce time spent on excess tasks so that they can devote more of their time and energy into actually teaching. AI is transforming the world right now, and we'd like to welcome this new technology into the classroom in a safe and effective way.
As Mickey said, teachers are so important. However, America is facing a massive problem in its education system. Teachers are quitting in droves, causing a major teacher shortage. Their top reason for quitting? Burnout. According to a study completed by the Rand Corporation, teachers estimate working 53 hours a week. That's 7 more than the typical working professional. And 76% of teachers are unsatisfied with their total working hours. That's compared to 46% of other working adults. And they are 40% more likely to develop the symptoms of anxiety than other workers. One teacher we spoke to mentioned that he wished that he had more hours to dedicate to tasks that would improve his teaching, but he was already working way too many hours. Another mentioned that her working hours were infiltrating her personal life. While pay increases seem like the most logical solution, the survey shows that pay and worked hours are interrelated, suggesting that pay increases alone, without changes to working hours, are unlikely to affect the well-being of teachers or intentions to leave the profession. About a quarter of teachers' time spent working is uncompensated. Our question was why? What is all of this extra work that teachers are doing that's causing them to burn out? We interviewed a lot of teachers, and here's what we found. Teachers, specifically STEM teachers, are spending countless painstaking hours creating math and science problems. In middle and high school, these teachers often give out weekly quizzes and monthly exams, not to mention daily homework and practice problems. They can't reuse problems year to year to maintain the integrity of the exams, and they often create new problems each year to specifically match the pace of the class. For STEM teachers, creating problems just like that is no easy task. These problems are often multi-step and complex and require reverse engineering to ensure tidy solutions. Some of these problems they can borrow from existing online problem banks and textbook banks, but as many different teachers have explained to us, these problems are usually simplistic, and the banks are limited, static, and rarely fitting to their exact needs. A physics teacher we interviewed said that one of the most difficult parts of his job was coming up with the tight multiple choice question. A math teacher at a VOTEC school said that she creates personalized problems each year for students that struggle with different things. We have identified the creation of quizzes and exams to be one of the biggest time sucks for these overworked teachers. On average, it takes a teacher 4 hours to create just one exam. And we believe that if we can decrease the amount of time that teachers are spending creating these problems and exams, then we can get teachers these unpaid hours back and lower burnout rates.
With that problem in mind, ExamWell is an endlessly growing question bank for teachers, allowing them to reduce time spent creating test questions by leveraging generative AI technologies.
Hi, my name is Nikki.
Sorry. Teachers can utilize our friendly user interface to select various parameters for the types of questions they want to generate, such as the topic, the subject, the format, as well as the difficulty. Once they hit submit, they will be taken to a page with a scrollable panel filled with questions that were tailored just for them. And we can...
Hi, my name is Nikki, and I am one of the founders for ExamWell. And today I'd like to walk you through a small demo of our current working version. To start things off, imagine I am a calculus teacher that wants an optimization problem for my students. Let's also say I want to make the problem hard, and I want to make it a short answer that also tests them on their knowledge of the Pythagorean theorem under the topic of optimization. Once I click submit, we get taken to a loading screen, and I can just cut to when the list of problems show up. And here we are. The first thing you may notice is the sliding panel for questions. We currently have the generator generate only 5, but that's not important. The most important aspect is this verified insignia. These verified markers indicate that these questions come directly from our database of verified questions. That means that these questions have been used by past teachers on actual exams. This ensures quality as well as consistency. Once I click one of these, we can see here the generated problem as well as the answer. Now, the answer is pretty simplistic right now. In the future, we hope to implement some feature that allows us to show a step-by-step as to why the height of the can is 10 centimeters here, for example. We also have an upvote and downvote feature. This allows us to quality control our questions, ensuring that those that are upvoted alive remain at the top of the algorithm and show up more frequently when a teacher asks for a similar problem. And that is all for the demo. Thank you for your time.
We have designed ExamWell technology to address specific concerns that we have heard from teachers and to stand above ChatGPT when it comes to the creation of math and science problems. Unlike the black box nature of ChatGPT, we have a multi-step, digestible, and understandable, transparent method. We perform multiple generation passes to ensure a top-quality problem that is fact-checked, solvable, and correct. First, we generate the problem with tested prompt engineering methods. The generated problem is then evaluated by a larger model for solvability, factfulness, fit to the teacher-requested parameters, and overall quality. If any of these categories do not hit a certain standard, the problem is sent back to the generator to be adjusted to the feedback. This cycle continues until an optimal problem of top quality is achieved. Our top priority is to deliver high-quality fact-check problems, and this architecture is designed to do just that. Our output is then fed into our teacher verification network, which further verifies the problems with real human feedback. Our algorithm prioritizes the teacher-verified problems, adding to our credibility and allowing ExamWell to perpetually improve. Our next technical step will be fine-tuning many models specifically to common middle and high school subjects, such as AP Calculus, AP Physics, Algebra 2, Geometry, etc. We will fine-tune these models on an extensive curriculum and problem sets from those subjects to make them experts in those topics. We have seen models such as GOAT, a llama model fine-tuned for math, achieve state-of-the-art math performance that rises far above out-of-the-box models. We know that fine-tuning these models will get us even better results, so we will make a dedicated model for each curriculum. We plan on offering a freemium model because we are confident that when teachers get a taste of our product, they will want more. With the free version, teachers can only see one verified result and 3 unverified results. They will also see limits on the number of questions that can be generated per month. Paying our subscription fee unlocks all verified and unverified results, unlimited question generation, and pre-solved answers to their problems. We sell to individual teachers as well as to districts who pay a price per teacher with a minimum of 25 teachers.
Our target market are teachers, tutors, and homeschool parents. Our primary market in the industry includes 130,000 school districts, of which there are about each has about 187 teachers, 180,000 private tutors, and 2.4 million homeschool parents. Multiplied with the appropriate number of subscriptions for each customer, we get our total attainable market of 1.2 billion. Given that not all teachers, tutors, and parents use problem banks and have different methods of writing exams, we will take 50% of our market to achieve our serviceable attainable market of 629 million. Our beachhead market includes high and middle STEM teachers, of which there are about 800,000 in the US, giving us our serviceable obtainable market of 32 million. There are some problem bands in the market. However, none of them offers the combination of unlimited personalized AI generation with teacher network to verify and rank them. As it is stated before, teachers are still struggling to write exams, to create exams with static problem bands like Kuta, because they are limited and not tailored to their specific needs. Meanwhile, the number one AI solution on the market does not offer crowdsourced verification and teacher ranking. And as a result, their problems are less trusted and reliable. The future is the collaboration of AI and human, and that is truly our differentiator. We are at a pivotal moment in history where AI is flourishing, and there is an ongoing talks about how AI will be integrated into the classroom. Despite the rapid advancement in AI, no clear leader has emerged to create a comprehensive tools for teachers. This represents a significant gap in the market, of which we are at a unique position to grab it. With AI being increasingly adopted for repetitive tasks across other various industries, it's time for educators to also benefit from the advancement of AI. Teachers who are often burdened with time and consuming repetitive tasks deserve the same support that AI provides for them. By entering the market now, we claim the niche and ensures that teachers have access to cutting-edge technology that can streamline their workload and ensures an educational experience for students. The time is ripe for innovative in education, and AI is ready to take the charge.
We have a two-pronged go-to-market strategy. First, we will be targeting specific school districts. To do this, we will build relationships with decision makers in the districts by attending and networking at EdTech conferences and events. We will reach out to them on social media and cold email and cold call. We will obtain meetings with and pitch directly to districts during their subscription renewal period. Our second approach is through the teachers themselves. From conversations with teachers who discover software on their own and request subscriptions from their school, we anticipate many district acquisitions through their teachers. We also sell a version for individual teachers who would pay on their own to make their lives easier. To target teachers organically, we will use paid ads on relevant Google search terms and get on EdTech blogs and podcasts. We will also create Reddit and Facebook pages to circulate our product within online teacher circles.
We are hoping for your feedback, and we will love it if you have any connections in the education industry, any expertise that you think might be of assistance to us. We would really appreciate it.
And with that, we would like to give a special thank you to Jeremy and Vijay for instructing us these past 10 weeks, as well as our mentors, CP, Theo, and Skylar, and all of the other guest presenters that took time out of their day to accommodate us. And we would like to extend that gratitude to the entirety of the SureStart program and everyone involved. Thank you for this opportunity. That is all. Thank you.
Awesome work. All right, we're going to turn it over to some questions from the audience, the in-person audience.
Sasha?
Great job. And as a former high school chemistry teacher, I can definitely agree that there's a definite need for this. My suggestion to you all would be to talk to somebody who is an expert in assessment, and to start thinking about, right now you have difficulty levels that are like easy, medium, and hard. You might want to think about, a lot of teachers think about Bloom's taxonomy when they think about questions. So are they being asked to just recall something? Are they trying to analyze something? Are they trying to synthesize information? So often when you're putting together an assessment for students, you want to think about not only the topics, which, you know, it sounds like you guys have a really good plan for each subject and how you're going to get those topics, but not just difficulty level, but Bloom's taxonomy level. So what are they being asked to do? And I think similarly, if you talk to some more folks who are in the field of assessment, there are also specific terms that go with types of multiple choice questions and the types of answers. Like, you know, those answers that are meant to trip you up. Yeah. So like maybe in a future iteration, there might be like a choice for the sort of kinds of answers that you would want to be generated as well. But I think you guys did a fantastic job. And let's see, what else did I say that was... I love the verification process. I think that's really great. I wonder if there's a way to incentivize some teachers to become sort of like experts at verification, and they could get sort of a reduced cost or something like in the future. I feel like there's some room there, which it sounds like you've already thought of that. So anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you very much.
Just talking a little more about that verification process, what do you see your relationship with the teachers as part of that verification process? Is this something where you're expecting them to do that and there's like as just part of a social network, or is there compensation that's based on like number of things that are reviewed? What are your thoughts on that?
So currently our model is just that we will have these problems and then teachers will hit like, it would just be an easy button to hit like, I used this problem, and then it will add to the number of verified uses that you see in that problem and help the algorithm. And so we see that in things like Reddit, people like upvote and downvote things. But I like the idea of providing some incentive to teachers, maybe lowering their rates if they hit a certain standard of how many problems they're verifying.
Yeah, I would recommend, I don't know if you know Jeremy's exit, but he does it with subtitling. And so I think it's an interesting application of that same concept to what you're looking at. So
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm from Colby. Yeah, you mentioned that you were going to have for your target audience middle school and high school teachers. I'm wondering if this could also be, do you expect that this could be valuable for college level teachers? For example, you know, you mentioned calculus problems. You know, there's a lot of calculus that's taught at universities like Colby. And we also have, you know, introductory chemistry and biology courses that rely on a lot of kind of problems like this. So do you have any anticipation that you would try to reach out to that market as well?
I think that that's very interesting. And our beachhead market is the middle and high school teachers, because we see that as like the easiest people to target initially, because they're doing like these weekly quizzes and monthly exams that you might not see in college. But I think that it would be very interesting to talk to college professors and see if this is something that they would use. We would definitely have to do a lot more discovery for that, but I like the idea. Thank you.
So also a former teacher and a former principal. I think that this solution space is just incredible, and I'm so glad that you're building here. One suggestion, you can make a lot more money than what you are intending to charge right now. A school would spend a lot more money if you are generating this value for them. So let's talk about pricing. And then an offer of support. I would love to introduce you if you want to do some testing. I think charter schools would be a great entry point for you. They have a less cumbersome like purchasing cycle. And I would love to introduce you to some principals that are kind of like techies that would love to try this out, I'm sure. So let's talk about
that would be amazing.
Yeah, let's talk.
Great presentation, guys. Really loved the improvement over the iterations. Quick question. What do you think is the current technical challenge that you're facing right now, and how do you plan on addressing it?
Well, I think right now, so we're using GPT 3.5 right now. If we had like some money to put into this, we would hopefully upgrade to larger models and then look at other models that are not just produced by OpenAI. And then I think that our biggest technical step, which we've explored a little bit but haven't fully dove into, is just fine-tuning those models. So I see that as like the next big challenge.
I'd also like to add that we might be, well, if we do move on, we'd also like to implement some sort of database to keep track of the users as well as the, well, database of verified questions. We definitely need that if we want to actually keep this running.
Okay, good. A quick tip, Google Cloud and other cloud providers do provide some funding for startups in their cloud, so you could use that.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you, Vijay.
All right, on that note, gonna say congratulations. Job very, very, very well done. Thank you. So let's turn our microphones on. All right.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm Akins.
I'm Ling, and alongside with Rose, who's joining us through Zoom, we are the co-founder of Passport Pal, an AI-powered app that makes managing your travel documents stress-free. So our mission is to become the go-to app for 4.5 billion global travelers, making sure that no one has to experience the stress of missing or incorrect travel documentation again. So how did we get here? So that's me on my flight back to the US from Mexico after my jam plan, only to discover at customs that I left my I-20 at school. So this is a document you need for re-entry into the US. So I was definitely not this happy when I was trying to explain to the immigration lady to let me through. And you can imagine it's definitely one of the most stressful moments in my life.
Now, let's look at some facts. About 20% of travelers experience issues with travel documents. Additionally, 28% of international students face delays and challenges with student visas due to missing or incorrect paperwork. Globally, travelers spend around $2.5 billion annually due to error in travel documentation, such as lost bookings, rebooking fees, and missed flights. With all these facts combined with our customer discovery, we identify that for many travelers and especially international students, managing travel documents is overwhelming and complicated. This is not their fault. Figuring out which documents are needed can be very challenging, and also navigating through the immigration websites can be very complex. For example, our friend Bishal didn't know he needed a no objection certificate to transit at Qatar on his trip from India to the US. Also, managing these documents, busy schedules, and flights and general travel planning can be very daunting. Another friend of ours too, forget that she had to update her the signature of the DSO on her I-20 because she was busy with her finals and also parking.
But what if there's a way to simplify this process? What if keeping track of your travel documents is as easy as checking the weather on your phone? So that's where Passport Pal comes in. We take your input, combine with utilize the web scraping of reliable immigration websites for real-time updates to provide you with a checklist and reminders of all the documents you need for your travel. So let me walk you through our customer journey. So when you first download the app, you'll be asked for your passport informations. So they will include your nationality, your passport expiration date, and any active visa you're having. And then for any trips that you have upcoming, we'll ask you where you're living from, going to, any transit in between, and we'll take care of the rest by giving you a customized document checklist based on your travel dates and your document renewal deadlines. And our chatbot, powered by OpenAI API, will also be available 24/7 to answer any questions you might have related to document requirements and visa regulations. But we don't just stop at making a list. We will also provide you timely reminders to check and double-check your required documents well before your departure. So imagine 3 hours before your flight, you get a pop-up notification on your phone to check that you to not forget your I-20 when you're traveling to the US to study. Need to renew your visa? We remind you. Need to check if your passport is available for the duration of your stay? We got you covered. Our app is designed to be user-friendly and intuitive, making it easy for even the most tech-challenged people to use, like my parents.
Okay, so now let me walk you through our minimum viable product. So this is what we have been working on so far. And this is the input screen where the user can enter non-sensitive information like their nationality, their passport expiry dates, where they are living from, their destination, and also other relevant documents, so information. So let's say I'm a Ghanaian and I'm living from, my passport expires in 2027. I'm living from the US to Japan for a study abroad program. I enter those information and other information like my purpose of travel, my visa type, and other information. So now what this does is that this information is then fed into the GPT-4o model to generate a checklist based on the prompt you provided it. So this is a generated checklist. Let's see some documents it contains. So going to the Japan, I'll need my visa, my F1 visa, certificate of eligibility for status of residence, my Japanese student visa. And it also provides link and also the documents you need to acquire that the Japanese visa and other relevant information. After that, you can then send this checklist to your email to keep track of it. So our next developmental step is to transform this MVP into a fully functional app that will be available on both the Android and iOS platforms. We also plan to integrate AI-powered chatbots and also web scraping abilities that will provide real-time updates on the required documents that are needed.
So moving on to our business model, we plan to collaborate with travel-related brands such as airlines, hotels, travel insurance companies like Faye, and services like Expedia to display the sponsored content within the apps. So this will include exclusive and personalized deals and offers, native ads, and affiliate links, which will blend seamlessly into the app's content. So for example, we got your information that you're going to Japan to study. So besides generating a checklist, we'll also display within the app or send you an email, top 5 activities to do in Japan as a student with discount codes. So the way we will generate revenue is through these options. The first one is through fixed fees of $500 to $1,000 per partner per month. And secondly is pay-per-click and cost per mile, which means that we'll make $0.1 to $2 per click or per 1,000 views under certain ads within the apps. And through revenue share, we plan to make 5% to 30% of sales generated through our app. However, we know that we will need to work with our affiliates to determine the most desirable pricing models for each partner. So our total addressable market currently is $2.25 billion. This figure is based on the 4.5 billion international passengers worldwide, considering that all of them could potentially use our app one day. So the average revenue per user, the ARPU, is estimated to be $0.5 and on travel apps from clicking on a certain ads or purchasing a certain travel deals. And our serviceable addressable market is $428 million. This is based on the 856 million people who have been using travel apps. So this means that these people might require some form of effective travel documents planning and who are actually tech savvy and are willing to search for our solutions on their smartphone. And our serviceable obtainable market is $3.2 million. And this based on our beachhead market is our international students worldwide of 6.4 million international students. And this is based on the fact that these students had the pain of dealing with schoolwork, but also had to sustain their visa status and other travel documents while for traveling between their home country and the place of study. So our competitor at the moment is the VFS Global, but they mostly focus on visa documents only. And others are separate travel websites and services such as Lonely Planet or Visa HQ, which provide very non-personalized information. And lastly, a manual checklist and reminders, which can be really inconvenient at times. So our value proposition is a personalized checklist, automated reminders, 24/7 AI support, and no cost, which can be really beneficial to people such as us, like international students.
So now you might be wondering why now is the time for Passport Pal. As displayed in the graph above, it is estimated that the number of international students in the US will double by 2 million in 2030. This shows that there will be a high demand for an efficient travel management solution system. Our next step is then to conduct more market research and further build our app. In the next month, we'll release a demo, then collect feedback from our initial users to improve the features of our app. Next year, we'll then reach out to travel agencies, airlines, and educational institutions to establish partnership. We'll then seek funding to expand our marketing and development. Finally, we'll launch target market campaigns to attract international students from US colleges and universities. My partner, Len, will talk more about the go-to-market strategy.
So as we mentioned before, our beachhead market is international students. So the first step for us is to collaborate with colleges to promote Passport Pal to their students through orientation sessions or study abroad fairs, offering demonstrations and exclusive sign-up incentives. So we'll first focus on Colby College, of course, and then expand to more NEXCA school, and then further universities in the United States and worldwide. And through this event, we plan to build an email list to offer more demos and updates. And we'll maintain our engagement with these customers as they transitions from students to business travelers, which is our next target market. So this long-term relationship will help us build and retain our customers over an extended period, maximizing the customer lifetime value. So, and lastly, we will use social media to engage potential users on platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, to share valuable travel tips and app updates of Passport Pals. So a little more about us. My name is Ling, and my role in Passport Pal is partnership and fundraising lead. And our partner, Rose, who cannot be here today, is our marketing and customer acquisition lead.
And I'm Akins, and I'm the tech lead for Passport Pal.
So forget the days of travel-induced anxiety. With Passport Pal, you can focus on what really matters, the culture you explore, the people you meet, and the memories you create. So join us to travel smart, travel with Passport Pal, where your journey begins with a peace of mind. So before we like to end, we would like to thank Jeremy, Vijay, and Amy, our instructor, for helping us through this program. And we all like to extend our gratitude to our mentors, Tommaso and Matt, for helping us a lot with this pitch deck. And finally, it's to the SureStart program, DavisAI, the Halloran Lab, and especially our classmate for being inspiring and motivating from the very beginning. So thank you. So yeah, we're open to questions and feedbacks.
Great
job. Love the idea. One thing, because you already have a go-to-market strategy for it. I think the universities themselves could be someone that you could charge money to. They have personnel who actually that's their job to like check on students. And I think it's a good revenue opportunity for you. So really great work. But I just want to recommend that looking into that, because there are people that they're paying to do that portions of that job that could help them quite a bit and be a nice mutual benefit for the college.
Yeah, thank you so much for your recommendations. So we did actually talk to our international visa specialists when we were doing our customer discovery. So we would definitely think about like bringing this to a university and think about like how we can like charge them with it. I think one problem we were having when we were talking to Aura Moreno, who is at Colby, that she said that the responsibility of like managing their travel documents is 90% like for the students. So the school doesn't have as much incentive to like be paying for this kind of service yet, but we will like think more about like what kind of features that we can implement more. For example, like implementing like CPT, OPT reminders, for example, to like further build this and like might like bring to the school again and like build some kind of business model around that. Yeah, thank you.
My name is Gus. I'm the dean of the college, and I'm glad you talked to Aura because the first thing that came to mind is this is something that we could definitely use. And you talked about OPT and CPT, which is something that I was also thinking about. I wonder if there's an opportunity for colleges and universities to input some information into the processes so that they can customize some of the processes to the standards of the colleges and universities. So I know that Aura, for example, in the case of an I-20 that needs to be signed, there's a timeline that she needs to follow in order for that to take place. So if the student gets a reminder a day or two before, have you thought about your I-20 for Colby? Maybe too late. So they may not find Aura because it's a day that she's not in the office. So if the colleges and universities could customize some of the information that's inputted and some of the timelines that are specific to the college, that would be super helpful. And I don't know what the capability would be to do this, but a lot of the information that the customer inputs, it's a lot of the information that will be needed in the forms that are already online. So I don't know if there is an ability to be able to autofill some of the forms already, and if this could be connected in some way to the forms needed in Civis, so that way it can expedite some of the processes.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's really great recommendations. So when we talk to Aura, we definitely she definitely mentions that when she sent out emails, like some student might like not forget to check it, and they might not know that they need to like sign their I-20 before they need to leave Colby. Like my friends who forgot to do that. So that's definitely something that we can think about, like how to help the school to like can input their data, and then they can like send that kind of email like automatically without like Aura have to do it personally. And the second thing you said about, that's definitely something that we can think about, because our next step is that we also want to like reach out to like immigration and like, because we are planning to do web scraping of immigration websites, but we're not really sure how that like the legal issues revolve around that. So we need to also talk to them about that and see if we can work with them to also do like incorporate some kind of documents that we can help like autofill for informations in there. But thank you so much for that. Hi.
Really nice job. I think this is a fantastic idea. My feedback is just very specific. I wasn't sure with the input field. I'm wondering if some folks, their nationality might not, like how they think about their nationality might not be where their passport's from. So I could think about my nationality as being Norwegian, right? But I have an American passport. So I'm wondering if there's some clarifying language that you might have that, you know, what we mean by nationality is where your passport's issued from, country of passport, you know, something like that. And then similarly, wondering if you're thinking about folks who have multiple passports and like what you would do for those. So those are just like very little things, but something to consider, you know, as you go on to the next, because you've already done an amazing amount of work. But
thank you so much.
Yeah,
That's
thank
really
you
great
guys.
recommendations. We will take that into consideration.
Next up, we have Peggy, who I want to say hello to. Peggy's a 2023 SureStart graduate. Woo-hoo!
Hi, I absolutely love this idea. I'm struggling with my passport right now. So this is like so like spot on. One thing that I was thinking about was how do you protect my privacy? Because as an international student, like my passport and the I-20 are the two major, like they are the big things for me in the US. So how is my privacy going to be protected based off on all of these like information that I put on that website?
So for now in our MVP, you just enter like non-sensitive data, like just your expiry, your passport expiry, then like let's say some timelines like when you be leaving, and also just your visa type, then your purpose of travel.
So, what we're saying that is not that you enter the whole like passport or your I-20. Is we're not asking for your like passport numbers, for example. That's like really like sensitive information. But we're just asking for like your like where the place of issue of your passport and your expiration date, so we can use this information to generate the checklist that you need. So it's like non-sensitive information at the moment, but we'll have to think more about the privacy issues later on when we want to implement more like data input as well. Yeah, thank you.
One last question.
I'm just wondering how you are sure all the information you're supplying is correct and like up to date, for example.
So for now, we are generating this information from the GPT-4o model. But in the future, when we develop our app, we'll look for like data set that will contain specific documents for each destination. Let's say you'll be going to Japan, to have like all these documents, so we can easily provide it to you. And also we'll provide real-time updates through web scraping of the immigration websites, so that we can provide you up-to-date documents that are required for your trip.
But yeah, and besides that, we're also thinking about implementing some kind of like customer feedback, like when Katie did for her ExamWell startup. So that will certainly help with customer when they have some kind of like false informations on this app. But we understand that like we were trying to build this as correct as possible, because like travel documents planning is really sensitive and like really important for people who need to travel. So it's definitely something that we will think more about. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, next up we have the team Prescripta, and this is our final presentation of the day.
Hey everyone, I'm Papa.
I'm Arham.
And I'm James. And we're really excited to share an idea we've been working so hard on throughout the summer. This idea actually came from when my late grandma, who had vision problems, mistook her hypertension drug with her diabetes drug, which landed her in the ER and costing us thousands of dollars for her recovery. My family has a line of vision problems. My parents are starting to experience it. And I know one day I can, or even you can too, experience in the future. And this is what our product Prescripta hopes to solve. Our mission at Prescripta is to make medication management simple, safe, and reliable for everyone. We're trying to help people take their medications correctly and confidently, reducing the risk and stress of managing multiple medications. Now, I'll turn it over to Arham to talk about the scope of the problem we have.
So recent studies show that medication mismanagement errors cost the healthcare industry north of $21 billion every single year. Why this massive sum of money, you might be asking? Well, these errors are the reason behind 1.3 million emergency department visits and 350,000 hospitalizations on an annual basis. Additionally, 41% of these errors are attributed to people over the age of 60, who are often managing multiple prescriptions. So we can see that a huge fraction of our population, specifically the elderly, struggle to properly self-administer the medications. In order to better understand the specific challenges people have with their medication routines, we ran a survey and gathered over 100 responses. Our data revealed that nearly 88% of people admitted to having missed a dose of their medications, and around 82% of people expressed interest in an app that would help them manage their medication more effectively. We also found out that people had three major pain points regarding taking their medications. These were misidentifying similar-looking prescription drugs, miscalculating the dosage amounts, or forgetting to take their medications on a timely basis. In order to fix these problems for these people, we created Prescripta, a personal medication manager. I'll let James tell you guys a little more about our solution.
All right. So Prescripta is designed to make medication management simple and easy. Using computer vision, Prescripta scans your drug, tells you how much to take based off your health record, and it also includes a personalized reminder to remind you of when to take it. And since our beachhead market focuses on people with vision problems, it has a text-to-speech feature to make it very easy for everyone. Now, let's imagine George, a 68-year-old man who suffers both from diabetes and hypertension and has a lot of medications to manage for both. Now, what George needs to do is that he simply has to create an account with Prescripta, then he syncs his health information, then he takes a scan of the prescription bottle in his hand, and then he receives lifetime feedback on the dosage he should take based off his health record. Plus, it also includes a reminder in case he has evening medications, just so that he doesn't miss that as well. Now, let's take a look at a demo of our app. So George will input some data, and then whilst this is going on, we would sync with his health records. George would also let us know any allergies he has or previous health conditions. And after that, George will just have to perform a quick scan of the prescription bottle in his hand. Oh, we don't have a prescription, so we had to get one. And then he quickly gets lifetime feedback. So this is just a base model of what our app intends to do. We plan on upscaling it from here.
Hello, George. Based on your health information, here are some tailored recommendations and precautions for using benazepril. 1. Dosage. Initial dose. If you are not on a diuretic, you should start with 10 milligrams orally once a day. If you are on a diuretic, the starting dose should be 5 milligrams orally once a day. Maintenance dose. Typically, it's 20 to 40 milligrams per day, either as a single dose or divided into 2 doses.
So now I would pass it back to Arm to talk about the business model of Prescripta.
We'll first approach the market with a beta release version that will be free to use by our customers. We hope that this free model will allow us to bypass primary barriers to market entry, test user access, and also allow us to gather critical user feedback through which we can iterate our services and really nail that product market fit. Once we've gathered confidence in our technology, we've perfected our app design, and we've established some credibility in the industry as a HIPAA-compliant vendor, we're going to approach insurance companies in order to move our product onto a more broader distribution. We're confident that insurance companies will have a high willingness to pay on a per-user basis, as every user that uses Prescripta will have safer medication management. This will lead to reduced medication errors, reduced ER visits, and save the insurance company and the healthcare industry a ton of money. Although we have not yet figured out the specific cost-saving priorities of individual insurance companies, we are confident that Prescripta will still be profitable as it is a software-based model. So there's effectively no marginal cost associated with selling it. And we can assume a placeholder value of $200 per person, as this is still significantly lesser than even a single ER visit associated with mismanaged medications. Our total addressable market represents the total revenue opportunity that Prescripta has if it were to capture 100% of the market share. In order to estimate our TAM, we can consider the population of the United States, along with the percentage of people with health insurance. Multiplying this with our annual revenue per user estimate, we get a TAM of $62 billion. The serviceable addressable market is the segment of the TAM that we think will be specifically targeted by our product and services. This will include people over the age of 60 who also have some form of visual impairments. These two demographics give us a SAM of $15 billion. Our serviceable obtainable market will be our portion of the SAM that we hope to realistically capture within the next 2 years. For the sake of our calculations, we'll be considering people that are in urgent need of our products. So the 1.3 million ER visits that happened last year, these are people who have witnessed the consequences of medication errors and would definitely be open to using Prescripta. These numbers give us a sum of $300 million. So James will now tell you guys a little bit about similar businesses in the industry and how Prescripta differentiates from them.
So our clear competitor in this market is PillPack. However, Prescripta leverages computer vision to provide lifetime feedback on an individual's prescription to get their dosage immediately, unlike our competitors whereby you would have to wait between 48 hours to 2 weeks for feedback. Also, we integrate the text-to-speech feature to make it very, very simple to use for people who are visually impaired, because we believe that's our main target and they need as much help as possible. We believe leveraging upon these two things, it'll give us a huge boost in the market and help Prescripta stand out from the rest. So now I would pass it over to Papayao to continue.
Our vision of Prescripta couldn't have been possible without the diverse skill sets of our team. With some experience engineering software, I serve as the technical lead of the team and focusing on the design, building, and testing of Prescripta. Despite our background in computer science and math, he has broad knowledge in business and helps us decide our go-to-market plan and our business model. James is the heart of our team who helps us think about the customer when we're designing Prescripta. He helps lead in the customer research and user experience and help us build a customer-centric product. Now, to make Prescripta be successful, we're looking for individuals who have experience working with insurance companies, so we be able to navigate the complex market. We're also seeking mentors and more individuals who have experience working with electronic medical records, the EMRs, so we could also navigate the health data syncing process as well. We're open to additional feedback, concerns, contribution regarding our product. We would like to say a big thank you to Amy, Jeremy, VJ, the Halloran Lab, DavisAI, our mentors, Jonathan and Mark, and all the guest speakers who talked to us during our time. And we would like to say thank you for your time, taking time off your busy schedules to be here to listen to us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? Hi, great presentation. Thank you. As a member of your target audience or your target market, I was really impressed by the document and the speech that addressed the customer directly about how to deal with their medication. But it instantly raises the question, where's that information coming from? And how do you know, and how do they know that it's accurate?
So this MVP doesn't really, this is just a simple way we wanted to show how we intend for it to work. But what we hope to do is that we would have the patient will be able to sync their health records. So we would have already existing information from how they take their dosages from the doctor already. And we would also have several third-party APIs that have information about drugs and their dosages already. So we wouldn't be generating new information. We'll be using that information and the information from our API to provide the dosage.
Great job, guys. I really enjoyed it. A couple of small suggestions. I think the feature that's probably going to be used the most is the alarms. And I was just thinking about making sure that those alarms like maybe have a feature where somebody has to click on it to like get rid of it, that they've actually taken it. Because what can also happen with folks in your demographic is they'll see the alarm, they'll think about it, they'll go into the other room and forget what they were about to do. So having some kind of interactive feature might be really nice there. And then similarly, maybe after a week of correctly taking their medication, like some badges or like nice job or things like that. You might also want to consider thinking about contraindications. So that doesn't always happen at the pharmacy, especially if they're getting medications from different places. Certain medications can't be taken together. And so you might want to, in your data, look for that, as well as another consideration sometimes is the way that the drug is metabolized. If you have a lot of drugs that are metabolized with the same system, that can put strain on the body. So again, this is something that usually your pharmacist would talk to you about, but we know that like people are getting drugs in the mail and all kinds of ways. So that might be looking at sort of the metabolic pathway. Like you have two, medications that are renally, I mean, maybe you wouldn't use those words, but that kind of feedback, I think would be really helpful. And then one last thing is I'm thinking future, it might be really nice to think about partnering with like lifestyle type folks to like, if you have these 3 medications, like you should be exercising, or here's a link to a healthy meal plan, or there's like potential to maybe partnership with some sort of tailored health advice based on the suite of medications people are taking. But that's sort of in the distance.
Okay. So no, I'm sorry to jump in. I do have to say that all 3 of those ideas were originally part of their ideas. I promise, and I sort of worked with them to kind of narrow the focus. So they're on top of all of that. Anyways, no, great points.
Thank you.
Feel free to comment more.
Yeah, about that, we do envision Prescripta to be checking like drug interactions. Prescripta will have a dashboard where it will be keeping record of all the medications a user is using, and it will be making sure there's no like red flags, no harmful drug interactions between any of them, keeping track of that. And maybe in the future, we might consider using people's data, like specific medication data, to recommend them exercise or nutrition plans.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Great presentation. Seems like an awesome idea. And so one question I have is, do you have, say, between the inputs, right, between the doctor and the third party, like, do you have a array of drugs that you're hoping, to be able to, for this on the GPT to make recommendations on, or is it every drug that's out there?
Okay, so our next step actually for Prescripta was to sync directly with an individual's health records, because their doctor would provide the dosages that they have to take, as well as the name of the drug. So even if the drug that somebody is using, because some conditions, the medications that somebody take is so uncommon, you would hardly even find it on the internet. The fact that we would be able to leverage computer vision, we could still get the text out from the prescription and cross-check it with the health record and just derive the person's dosage right away for them.
The idea here is thinking about drug development, right? So, for example, you might have some patients who have signed up for the use of a phase 3 trial drug that you might not have information on. So, for example, if we look at the sort of the timeline of how, say, the COVID vaccine was developed, right, as an mRNA drug. The first treatment that we saw in the public, sort of the research records, was 40 times daily dosage of vitamin C, right? And the development of that, speeds it up. So one thing to consider is what sort of your suite of, say, drugs that you're hoping to be able to prescribe, and which ones, and this is just one idea, right, that you can, let the primary healthcare provider or the kind of trial that somebody might be taking to be able to recommend just for liability purposes and things like that. And just thinking about the keeping up with a record, and even through like say something like Google Scholar, the development of certain type of drugs and things like that could be something to look into.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great presentation, guys. I have a quick question. Have you guys thought about including family members in the loop? Oftentimes, they might be more in charge of taking care of their parents, of their health. So the person themselves might not be able to use the phone because of their vision challenges. So a person of their kid or the family might be in charge, and then they might also be kept in loop if they're taking their medications or not. So if your app reminders are not working, a call from their kid would work better, probably.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, my question is that so you guys said that like the patient doctor would input the patient's health records into this data, and this data would be shared to the third party, as you said, API or something like that. So my question is, how do you guys ensure that this data is very, very sensitive to people? How do you ensure that these data are protected by the system?
The data that will be sent along our line, we would encrypt it. And so that if anybody gains access to it, they won't be able to decrypt it back to the original form it was taken from in case there's any data breach of our application. But in the event that that doesn't happen, the individual's data would be secured.
You got yours.
Two quick pieces. One, I wonder if there's a feedback loop mechanism so that the physicians know that the patient is actually taking the medication. One of the common questions that the physicians ask you is that, have you been taking medication? And sometimes the patient lies, I'm guilty. Or sometimes you don't remember, but if the app is sending the feedback to the physician, that could take care of that piece for the patient. And the other suggestion is in your business plan piece or your finance piece, you were talking about insurance companies as someone that you would work with. There's also an organization called Epic that runs an app called My Chart, and it's a very commonly used app by a lot of the networks of doctors. And in the app, there is icons for different things, and one is for prescriptions, and it helps you with reordering prescription, but it doesn't help you with the tracking. So instead of making it available to the patient directly, you could work with companies like that to see if they would consider making it part of what they already offer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other question? Yeah, it's fire. We've got a few more.
Sorry, this is tiny, but as a stupid user myself, I like to be told how many pills to take, not how many milligrams. And it seems to me like the fact that you have the pictures of the bottle is an ideal thing to make that transition and is a value added.
Comments?
Yeah, we definitely could. That would make it far more convenient for the users. So great idea.
Yeah.
On that note, do you imagine eventually using the optical recognition technology to be able to identify individual pills?
Yeah, I think there are already existing technologies that's able to identify just like the features of a pill, the colors, the text on it to get the particular drug it is. So we can definitely learn from that and build one ourselves. Yeah.
Gus's point made me think of one more thing as well, which is not only like verifying that you're taking them, but you could actually potentially even capture the imagery, the video of them taking the pills, and then keep that in the medical record. And I'm sure that insurance companies would be able to find lots of value in having provable data that you took it.
Yeah.
Any other final questions? Okay. Yep. One more.
I've been thinking about your answer to me and to others about direct access to the patient records. And it immediately raises in my mind the issue of the privacy. And there was some issue about, across your system, there would be encryption to protect the patient's data. But there is legal protection in the United States of medical records. And so my question is, could your app navigate, or could your development navigate HIPAA, the federal law that protects medical records, so that you could even get access? I'm just wondering what access looks like to the medical record.
We do envision Prescripta getting access to electronic medical records and keeping them safe. This is the reason why we're going to first dispatch Prescripta as a free model directly for customer use. This will be for an indefinite period of time while we figure out the legal stuff. And only when we've established ourselves as HIPAA compliant will we move on to insurance companies and make contracts with them. I think legal stuff is definitely one of our biggest concerns, and that's the biggest next step we have, because over the summer, our goal was to figure out the business models and the MVP design.
Okay, great job. Cover those down. Okay, so that's all we have today. Everyone online, again, thank you very much for attending. Really appreciate it. We actually have a recording of this. We will be editing it a bit to take some of the early stuff that you were involved in out. And then we'll find a way to post it either on our YouTube channel, on our website, so you can access it again in the future. Thanks again to everyone attending in person. Really appreciate it.